Hello, YouTube. Long time no see. I think it's just been over 4 days, five maybe, since I've been on. And I promise I have good reason. Uh, First off, personally, it's been mad. A bit of a madhouse. Some cool developments though. Some reconnection. Give it a minute. See where the stream takes us tonight, and kind of explain some of the things I'm thinking about building. And as usual, we're not just talking about vague ideas here. The stream itself, you see, is composed by my own little platform. It's built out React, Canvas, WebGL, WebRTC, nodejs. Had a couple of fantastic streams, especially in the past week or so. Dropped off a wee bit, ended up picking up a meta-free quest. My brother's been on at me to get one, and I can see why. Despite the distance, I'm quite close with my wee brother. He is over in Scotland. VR is interesting because it's one of the few things that can actually make you feel like you're make me feel like I'm in the same room as them, and vice versa. Okay, so we'll wire up the YouTube live chat. To her system here. Did I spell insomniac wrong? That'd be funny. Yes, I did. Yeah, I should be banned. It's terrible. I did update the description on YouTube, and I'm not sure that was the best idea. I was just figuring out my audience, but gotta keep going. Talk as if someone's there even when they're not, because you might just stumble into this. It's up anyway. As usual, I'll show a bit of the process here. There's a shit in the back. Oh, okay, that's right. I should probably disable that local so it's black. Let me go. Oh, I can't because this is live production. That back in. For goodness snakes. Don't film me now. Tonight we're looking at Three.js, specifically because of the XR browser API, Webxr. So this lets us build VR experiences directly in the browser, which I think is fantastic. I prefer tag within the web because what doesn't have a web browser these days? Everything with an app store has a bloody browser, which is a good thing. It's always a fun API when it says limited availability and experimental. I think the only large VR system that doesn't support it is Apple's, which is quite a shame. It was originally under Steve Jobs, much to my dismay at the time. With the release of the iPhone, iPod Touch and the iPad, Apple essentially started the process of killing off Flash and Shockwave, and basically browser plugins in general. But back when I first started coding, a large majority of the web was implemented Flash. Like people would have websites, they'd be all Flash. Some of them would just have parts of their website, excluding the obvious, such as banner ads, navigation, menus, headers, would all be done in Flash. Where I was going with that story is Apple pushed web first, released their iPhone and iPod. They didn't even have an app store because they envisioned a device kind of similar to Palm OS, where all user generated content would be published and accessed on the web. They quickly changed their mind on that, but they never allowed Adobe to roll out Flash, which led us to today. We have quite a powerful browser, and I believe they were also responsible for WebKit, which is what Chrome, etc. is all spun off of. But with their VR technology, they've decided to neglect XR in the browser. But the Meta Quest I've got here does support it. And that's what we're going to looking to integrate here into our little 2D avatar chat. I did get it rendering, so it was at least a 2D plane, but it's not that fun. Been poking around a bit in the VR chat, and it's both impressive and intimidating just how far they've built that system out. But as of now, it's not web accessible. I believe that's a sticking point. So just a quick refresh of what's going on in this stream. Top bit is where I code the platform you can see on your screen right now. I share my camera using this. At the bottom third of the screen, it's YouTube driven. Live chat, each person gets a unique avatar, a unique color, aura, and a unique text-to-speech voice. I should read out the comments after moderation. We can't get too much going on tonight though. I might drop it and just try again tomorrow. So I've just been poking around some of the examples here to see what we could take into the avatar chat here. It's Vue.js, works quite well. But I think before that, I do want to get some clips since it's quiet tonight. Makes sense to capture some things I want to get video. The first thing I noticed with the Meta Quest 3 was Kynto works quite well in it, but the most important part is I can screen share over the web using this right into this world. So we'll see if we can get a wee clip. Okay, so I'll pull up Kynto. Okay. That's feedback, but what I'm going to do, I've got the bloody Meta Quest 3. We're going to look at getting this avatar chat working on it. First thing, I just want to see the quality of the screen share using WebRTC, which I have obviously built out. That's how I'm displaying my wee camera here and sharing screen. Basically acts as a YouTube live chat driven stream aid. But what I want to do is actually get a couple of clips. And as usual, I made it on a wee bit too late. And kind of bummed out that...
Kodalek joins stream test.
Yeah, I want to add to that library. That sounds good. Alright, so I'm in the right room. If I get rid of this screen, see any accents. Okay. What are we doing here? We are going to share screen, that's right. See what the quality looks like. Hopefully it's not too bad. I think I might have to do some optimizations. That's okay. Right, so I'm going to share my desktop right from the Quest 3. I'm just in the browser. This is using Kynto, the same tool that... Oh, let's mute it. Oh, right. Let's see if I select this. Does it move that in the background? I'm not seeing that. Let's see what's going on here. Get rid of this shite. Click into the right keyboard. Fucking chaos over here, man, but that's fine. I think it's more interesting to show how the sausage is made. Anyway, okay, cool. So let's picking that up. Let's turn this off. Yeah. So I'm just going to capture some clips navigating about here. We have a Kynto open on a wee screen in here. Make it bigger. I wish it wasn't showing that background. I'll zoom in a bit. So you can see the problem right away, right? It's just 2D. But what is working nicely is the screen share direct from the Quest 3 in the browser. And this is the power of WebRTC for you. This is the power of browsers. Being able to build tools like this that just work. I didn't have to make any modifications. I was able to just load it up. You should be able to see. Oh, I'll have to move the screen about so you can actually bloody see it. It's not like chat's popping tonight, so you don't have to type your avatars up. We'll move it. We'll just make it smaller. How about that? Move this nice prompt out the way. Just keep this down. We'll do. It's actually coming through a wee bit clearer than I was seeing before, so that's good. All right, quick rundown for a clip. Let's see. It's cool. You should be able to see my pointer now, right? All right, so we take a look at this little window. This is what's powering the bottom third of the screen here. And on Twitch, it's not going to look as nice. I don't spend as much time on the layout there. So we'll start with the basics. These wee avatars are generated from YouTube live chats. Each one of them gets a unique voice, a unique clothing style, gets spawned in the grid here. And there's different commands in YouTube that you can use to actually trigger these little boys to move around the screen. I can just walk by just pointing at this thing, drag the world around. I can drop tiles and drop items. But where it gets actually fun and interesting is the fact that not only is it YouTube live chat driven, so in a typical stream, there's some engagement going on. We get some coders or people interested in creating things themselves. They can interact directly with me by just literally using live chat. And there's commands like you can move up, down, left, right. You can pick up collectible items. This is the collectible, but say it was, you'd be able to walk into it, pick it up. Sounds good. If you type a message, it creates a little bubble above your head. And then that will give you a unique color. And your avatar will pulse. So you'll get like a light that shows an aura, let's call it an aura, around your avatar. that will signify your character has done something. And your aura is unique to your character. So one of the things I have to do is actually make that persist. So one of the most important parts of this though is it's not just a visual thing, it's also an audio thing. So one of the things I like seeing on Twitch is the interaction with TTS. And I think it's built into the platform over there. People use tools like Streamlabs or something like that powers that there. Well, this is a custom solution. And what's actually a little bit better than most of the TTS systems I've seen is you get a unique voice. So this avatar has a different voice than this one, and a different voice than that one. And throughout the course of a stream, you can identify that Tom sounds like a lady from England, while Ben sounds like a man from America. Everybody gets a slightly different voice, and yeah, it's quite exciting. And I've had a couple of streams where the demonstration turned into a really engaging stream, and people were chatting with each other. I'm not bothered hooking that up tonight. It's a wee bit dead. That's okay. That's how that works. So if I go up here into the chat menu, this is actually more of a stream panel. And I'm just going to explain the options you do see here and the ones that you don't. So the first option is a little face, and what that does is it takes my face basically from the webcam and we'll just map it on top of the avatar. And say I invite a guest into the stream, if they hit that, they will also show their just little pixel face on the avatar, and that way you can show reactions, expressions, things like that. We'll skip this one. It basically just shows you an in-game thing. Then you have your microphone selector. So say you just want to do a voice chat, invite a guest on. He's shy, he's not interested in getting on camera. Brilliant, just hit the microphone. The next one that's supposed to be there but isn't there in this Meta Quest 3 is the webcam drop down. And that'll show any capture cards you have hooked up to your computer and any webcams. And that's what I'm using on my streaming computer over there to aggregate the camera that you've probably seen my hand moving in front of right now. And then what I'm using right here, right now, which is highlighted in red, is the desktop share. And this lets you literally share screen in the Quest 3. I love that this just worked. This is actually done all via WebRTC, which is a peer-to-peer streaming technology that's literally built into the browser. And one of the most exciting parts of the web that it's been difficult to learn and pick up, but incredibly rewarding to be able to build something that streams media, that streams audio, and streams desktop without having to rely on a server. The cool thing about leveraging YouTube here is I'm able to take a peer-to-peer stream and offload that onto YouTube or Twitch. So even though peer-to-peer and like the mesh implementation I have here can maybe only support a dozen, 20, 30 people at once, at least for streaming video, because you're uploading to every individual person. Leveraging YouTube and Twitch here allows me to treat this more as a stream aid tool, and it's going to give me the space and time that I need to actually ramp up and implement a better way of handling the mesh network and peer-to-peer. I'm thinking there is I'm going to have people act as, and I've already got some experiments in the code base that do this, where say someone comes on, they have a nice powerful computer, they have a nice bandwidth, they'll actually act as a relay. So say I'm streaming video here and someone else comes on, they'll actually also take up responsibility for acting as a relay to stream my video to someone else that joins the room. And you do that every other couple of users, and eventually there's just a giant network of people acting as relays. So that's how I see some opportunities to scale this while still keeping it peer-to-peer. I'm quite excited about this, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm wanting to take advantage of this whole VR concept as well, especially after poking around VR chat for a bit. I want to make Kynto not only accessible in VR, but actually useful. So one of the things I love about web is it's the cross-platform, right? I mean, even the bloody PS4 has a web browser. Kynto can actually run on it, even though it doesn't support WebGL out the box over there, it does support Canvas. So a lot of this, what you see here, does work. And but different devices support different APIs and different functionality in the web. Some of them support more so than others. Almost all of the browsers that you use today support everything that you see here. So that's great. Now the API that I've not worked with before, but I've started poking about with in the last week or so, is the XR API. So that's the VR API that is basically essentially built into the browser, and it's supported by the likes of Firefox, Safari and Chrome. And you've got one-off browsers like this one and the MetaQuest, probably a fork of Chrome that does support that. So incredibly exciting. I want to take advantage of that. If I go ahead and let's see, pull up some examples. A VR website that shows you just how powerful web is here. That's not it. What is it? What is it called? VR. So if you remember the old Flash game portals, at least I had in school, didn't matter if it was in America, England or Scotland, there'd be these websites that would act as directories to all these games. You load that up and you do let's play like motocross or tanks or what have you. And one of the things actually got me interested to make my own Wii games. But what I want to just show you is the power and accessibility of web VR. So I'm not seeing this one, but I'm just going to click it. It's a website. Essentially, it's just 3D. So a lot of these are probably coded in Free.js or Unity. Unity published to the web. We'll click play here. Alright, this one's made by Unity. Easy to spot. Alright, hopefully that audio is muted on your end. You're not hearing now. Hopefully you're still seeing what I'm looking at. Yep, you are. Okay, so where is the VR? So on the bottom right here, see it's got a VR option. If I trigger this, it's going to trigger a Webxr API. It's basically going to take control of the entire device. So this is all done in web. And I love it. I love it. Apple has to catch up on this, I'll tell you what. But just click on practice. I just want to navigate this wee world here just to see what it could do, for fuck's sake. Practice, man, practice. A little easy, I don't know what this is. Okay, so it's a sweet gun game. I have to grab my gun or something. Fuck's sake. Well, we'll take a wee look at it. Oh, it's talking to me. Right, I'm getting shot at and I can't even get... Oh, there's my gun. I just dropped it. Fuck's sake, come on. So this isn't the best example of the way to show. We'll pop back out. How do we do that? I think it's this guy. But you see it's using WebGL and it's using WebRTC, WebXR export, so that was an option to select. We'll go ahead and quit that and then just take it some more examples. Some of them are quite performant, that one was now. Let's take a look at open world. So yeah, one example, it's like a Minecraft corner, something along those lines. This is what I'm looking at here. So it's mentioned at the bottom third of the stream on YouTube. That's my custom platform. That's what I'm using to compose the stream. And currently it's isometric 2D. It is usually YouTube live chat driven, but it's been quiet tonight, so I've no bother turning that on. We're going to click VR here. Just have a little poke about. Alright, it looks pretty smooth so far. so it's a bit jumpy, moving about. So it's definitely, I'd say, a wee bit bleeding edge on the web, but the fallback is just literally having 3D in the browser anyway. I mean, if you open this up on just a normal computer, you'd still be able to play this. If you opened up on a MacBook or an iPad, you'd still be able to play this wee game here. Now, imagine if this was networked and there's other wee avatars running about the screen that are, you know, some of them controlled by YouTube live chat, others controlled by people hosting rooms or building rooms. See a lot of potential there. Something that shows me there is a demand for such a thing. It's just looking at VR chat and just the massive amount of engagement that has. And while that does have a bunch of implementations and various platforms, they're sleeping on web. And I get part of that is, you know, there's performance implications working on the web, but you know, you're building something future-proof, and to have that cross-compatibility and that fallback to be able to still work on any other device is a 3D avatar chat. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So this is pretty cool. I might poke around the generate source code for this because I didn't see it mention Unity. So if it's a 3GS implementation, we'll be able to actually dig through some implementation details here. The really cool thing about the bottom third of the screen you actually see is what makes it easy for me to integrate with different tools, environments, and even consider adding VR layer is the fact I've built everything on kind of an event bus. So that means that, like, I'll give you an example. The UI is coded in React, but the little game aspect that handles avatars, building rooms, connects to the room server and all that, that's all coded in WebGL and Canvas. And they still have to talk to each other. How do I move though? How do I go back? So by using an event bus that's driven by WebSockets, both from peer-to-peer and from the server, I'm able to build different components on the native layers. So, you know, like iPhone app has different features and permissions than just pure web. And another example is the Steam game example that I've not released yet, but I built a whole remote desktop protocol just on top of my screen share, which is what you're seeing me when I look around here. That's how you're seeing this on the screen in the first place. But I was able to hop in there on Electron, which is a technology that lets you quickly build desktop apps using JavaScript. I was able to just load in Kynto into a web view essentially, and then tap right into my event bus. And then I was able to leverage an NPM package called nodejs. And nodejs lets you emulate keyboard and mouse input. So I was able to quickly just capture mouse movement and keyboard input on Kynto, the bottom third of the screen you see there, with a video a desktop share. Send that over the event bus to the peer-to-peer. So anyone in that room, which in my case is a password protected room, so it's just me. If I'm running another instance of Kynto with the Electron, it lets you take those mouse events and keyboard events and then output them on the device, on the other device, as if it's actually native keyboard and mouse input. So that let me code my own remote desktop protocol from scratch. It actually works incredibly good. I was able to use it to play Portal, and I do have a video and a stream on that. But the long explanation there is that by having an event bus system, I'm able to come in here and create an additional layer, even if it's 3D, completely disparate from the whole game layer I've already built. I can have that respond to events. So when you see a room here, there's packets that are fired when you join a room that sends an array of avatars, items, and tiles in that room. And then it essentially renders the world. And the thing is I can put something that leverages this in Free.js and have that render instead of on a 2D plane, it would render on a 3D plane. And I'm thinking to just quickly reuse assets, so do kind of a Paper Mario style. But I'll still be able to have something like this, where I can come in and look at my creations, and a few folks that came on and built pretty extraordinary things on Kynto and explore it from a whole different perspective. Because I found that despite a VR system like this, like the MetaQuest 3, not having the most realistic graphics, it's incredibly immersive. You quickly adapt. It's literally feeding you, audio and visual input completely. And as long as it's smooth enough, you can keep playing. Now, and connecting that and feeding it with input from real people feels good. So I think that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm looking at. So yeah, as mentioned, this is just powered by Web. Just looking at examples, this is like a Flash game website. If you were playing that stuff in school like I was, this is an example of that for web with VR. We're going to tap literally into these same APIs to do some cool stuff ourselves. I do want to see the augmented reality stuff because I think that's also incredibly exciting. I just want to do that. So, alright, I see my server over there, my coffee cup. Beautiful. Where's the rest of the game? It's loading up and it might have crashed. Regardless. Have another quick look before I hop off. See what's on here. Another cool thing about VR and augmented reality is being able to create models for 3D in 3D space, which is absolutely bloody nuts. We'll do VR. So I got a paint palette and I got a spray. Is it loaded? Who knows? Oh, I have to do it in the body wall, maybe. Yeah, I can't get closer. I'm physically sitting here. Alright, we'll hop out of that. Hopefully Kynto has been sharing this whole experience. Let's see if it's still sharing. Hopefully the performance was okay. I think it was. That's good. So you can see why I want to take this little 2D world that's completely driven by user input from YouTube and expand into the VR space a wee bit. Right, take this off now. Go ahead and hide that. See, I'm literally controlling your viewer with Kynto. All the power of WebRTC in the browser. Beautiful, so beautiful. Right, hope you enjoyed my TED talk. Drop a like or subscription, because once a few folks get in here in the chat and it gets popping, it's incredibly engaging, incredibly exciting. Right, appreciate it. We'll go ahead and end this stream. Come on, let me end the body stream.